An old zebra sat on a wooden chair, his eyes filled with countless stories of the past. In front of him sat a young man, his son, gazing at him intently. "Father, I have always wanted to know about your life. Everything you endured, everything you learned, everything you lost, and everything you gained. Today, tell me everything." The old zebra closed his eyes with a faint smile, as if he were stepping into the alleys of memory. Then he slowly lifted his head and began to speak. "Son, I was born in the vast, open grasslands of Africa, where the air was fresh and the land was covered in endless fields of green. The moment I opened my eyes, I felt my mother's warm breath. She was there to protect me. Only a few minutes after birth, I had to stand on my feet. It wasn't easy. I fell many times, but my mother supported me. She said, 'Son, zebras don't have the luxury of falling. If we want to live, we must learn to stand.' I gathered all my strength, and within moments I was standing. The first victory of life is always unforgettable, and this was mine." The old zebra took a deep breath and continued, "My childhood was beautiful. I played with other young zebras, ran freely in the open fields, drank from the watering holes, and spent every moment happily with my mother. But the world wasn't as safe as it seemed. We always moved in herds because we knew the dangers of lions, cheetahs, and crocodiles. My mother would often say, 'Son, we cannot survive alone. Those who stray become prey.' One day, while drinking water with my mother, a lion suddenly emerged from the bushes. The herd panicked and began running. I ran too, but when I looked back, I saw an old zebra struggling to keep up. In an instant, the lion pounced on him. I was terrified. I asked my mother, why couldn't we save him? She took a deep breath and said, "This is the law of the wild, my son. Only those who are fast and smart survive." That day, I learned that life isn't always fair and that we must always be careful. As I grew older, my life changed. I traveled with my herd, discovered new places, and faced the harsh realities of survival. Once, while crossing a river, I noticed something moving beneath the water. Crocodiles. We had to tread carefully. Some zebras ran swiftly and made it across safely, but others were caught. I was one of the lucky ones who survived, but that sight haunted me for a long time. That day, I learned that every step in life must be taken cautiously. The old zebra paused for a moment as if reliving those memories. Then he continued. "One day, I thought I was independent and no longer needed my herd. I decided to venture on my own, following my own path. At first, it felt good. I could go wherever I wanted, do whatever I pleased, but soon I realized I was vulnerable. At night, predators saw me as an easy target. I realized I had made a terrible mistake. Luckily, after a few days, I found my herd again, and I promised myself never to separate from them again. Then came a time when I met a beautiful zebra. Her stripes were radiant, and her eyes sparkled like the morning sun. I liked her, and she became a part of my life. Before long, we had a baby zebra. When I saw him trying to stand on his little legs for the first time, I remembered my own childhood. I repeated the same words my mother once told me. "We are zebras. We must learn to walk because life doesn't wait." I taught him all the lessons of life, how to run, how to escape predators, and most importantly, to never leave his family. The old zebra now seemed a bit tired, but he wanted to finish his story. Time passed. I witnessed many springs, endured many harsh winters. I watched my children grow up and then leave to build their own lives. Now I am old, but I have lived my life to the fullest. I have faced hardships, experienced joy, and learned every lesson that life had to offer. Son, life is a journey, and the most important thing is never to lose your identity. We are zebras. Our stripes make us unique. No matter how the world changes, we must always remember who we are. The human son gazed into his zebra father's eyes, where the wisdom of a lifetime shone brightly. He realized that this was not just the story of a zebra, it was the story of anyone who embraces their identity, learns from hardships, and holds on to their values. The old zebra smiled. Now go and write your own story, but always remember, never lose your stripes. Saying this, he leaned back into his chair, as if he had fulfilled the greatest responsibility of his life.